Turn up in your hustle when your life gon' get much better. A real boss turn all his L's to a blessing. Life steady sending signs, but you never read the message.
Welcome to the Hood Buddha Podcast. We not tuned in and locked into session 11. I got a special guest, Geedy P. I like to call you a historian, bro. They like to call you the mayor. What they like to call you?
They call me the y'all call me the Albernac. Sean Cotton called me the New Orleans spokesman. Q Red called me the Golden Child from Baton Rouge, Young Boy Producers. I got so many names I don't know. All of them definitely an honor for people to think any of that of me. Because I've been putting the work in, so I appreciate it. So thank you for having me too, bro.
Been putting in the work is an understatement. So like I said, I like to call you a historian, bro, because your facts and your delivery is like you reading from a history book, bro. Anybody ever told you that, dog?
Yeah, a lot of people tell me I do a lot of reading. I'm an avid reader. I always read books. My daddy had me reading books when I was real young. We used to go steal books out the mall. Like I used to go, they used to have books at the book fair that you had to pay for to go get the good books when you was young and all that at the school. So we couldn't really get the Goosebump books sometimes. So we used to go in the mall in the plaza in New Orleans East and we used to steal the books. And my brother and them being in Camelot stealing like a Mystical CD, a BG CD, a Tupac CD. And I was feeling like if I got caught, the police might say, at least he trying to read something. Right. So I was always wanting to read and all that.
That's a good habit, bro. That's definitely a good habit, especially, coming where we come from. But man, introduce yourself to the people, as if they don't know who you are. Introduce yourself to the people.
Well, my name is Geedy P. Real name Gregory Earls. I'm a hip hop blogger. I'm a music executive. I didn't work with artists like BTY Young and Super Bad. I work with my cousin label 0 to 60, Raymond, Big Raymond Smith, aka Fat Mac. He on that label or whatever. He had S80 on that Meet Me Halfway, the youngest one, Super Blanco that was with his squad up. So I did that to name a few. Working with artists like that, blogging. Sean Cotton with the post me a lot on Say Cheese for defending things from Louisiana that people kind of run off with and act like they did it. That's how he started posting me on Say Cheese, and that kind of brought me into the blogging. So I do all that, and then I've been doing working and doing the stuff with Cash Money and stuff like that too. So I've been around Stunner because he saw the work I did with BTY Young, and he reached out to me. So
what part of New Orleans you from?
I grew up between the Seven Wall and New Orleans East. But I connect more to the East because even when we moved back, we was always moving back in the 7 Wall and all over the 7 Wall and even in the 6 Wall. I was going to school still in the East. So
okay.
If I couldn't go to Gregory, because my name was Gregory, my big brother went to Gregory, my cousin Nicole, my cousin Angela. If I couldn't go to Gregory, I won't go to Phillip. I'm like, nah, I'm going to just stay at Livingston. So Tyra Lane, like when Soulja Slim said on the song, I don't know if you ever heard on a 2001 album, he got a song called My Jacket, and he said in 95 I ran on Tyra Lane and bust the brain. But Tyra Lane is in New Orleans East. It's called the Western Lake Forest neighborhood off Crowder.
See what I'm talking about? This man just quoted something from 2001. Only historians could do that shit, bro. That's what I'm talking about, bro. We in 2024. This man is quoting something from 2001. Yeah. That's crazy, bro. That's a gift. Yeah. That's a special gift. I don't know if nobody told you that, but that's a gift. Because I be watching you, bro. Like, I actually been watching a couple of your other interviews and podcasts this week, bro. And like, you document stuff from the 90s all over. Like, that shit happened yesterday, bro. That's a gift. That's a special talent, bro,
like
for
I
sure.
Said, bro, I just come from being a fan of it. So even when we was standing somewhere, they had a place called Gimmick Records. It was on Paris Avenue. And a lot of dudes used to go get their stuff if they were trying to whip up in the kitchen to get right on the block to make some money. But they'll go buy their tapes out there too, So my brother used to always go in there and get like Too Short, UGK, 8 Ball MJG, Spice One, Tupac, UNLV albums and shit. So me loving that and then reading the magazines when he had the magazines like the the hip hop magazines at the time, whatever. I'm reading all that and I'm remembering and stuff like that. So I just was loving it. Then my dad was in a group singing. My dad sang a group called the Mystics in the 70s. He from Uptown. He sang a group with Lil Ya Uncle out the St. Thomas. My dad at the Third Ward. So it just was always in the house around me. I'm watching Soul Train. I'm watching Video Soul with Donnie Simpson. This before even the 106 and Parks and the Rap City and all that shit. So
it's kind of embedded in you.
Yeah, my daddy wasn't big into sports. Like I love Deion Sanders and all. That's why I got the headband on and shit. My part David Hudson said, my father David said, man, you like Deion in 95, that windbreak on that, what you call it. But anyway,
facts you do.
But like I said, that came from that. So my daddy loving that. He just loved boxing and music. So we was always watching Showtime at the Apollo and all that. So I just remembered all that, like an elephant. I just took it all in. I love it. So it's easy to remember something when you really care about it. When you're passionate about it, people could tell if you really just doing it for the money or you doing it for the love and all that, you know.
Right. So I'm glad you said the word passion, because I know that you kind of, I don't want to say kind of new, but you fairly new to the blogging thing, right?
Right.
So I feel like, you know, more of your passion is music.
Right.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so what's your newest role in music right now? What is the most recent, you know, how are you treating your passion for music right now?
I mean, it's still the same it always been or whatever. I mean, I love it. I love working with artists. Like, even though I do the blogging, my best is when I'm in the studio. Like, J Merck called me earlier, rapping some stuff on FaceTime with me. I was letting David hit on the way over here. I just love music and all. I love being in the studio. I like to be in there creating. When Motown Records made a lot of those great albums, when a lot of times when Cash Money No Limit did it and Rockefeller, they was in the studio together. So I like to be in there with the producer and we bouncing ideas, put a string in there, put some horns in there. You know, the piano gonna give it that sound. The church organ's gonna give it that southern soul like Pimp C. So I like that. That's the thing I love the most and all that. And I think that, you know, I like all the like the new stuff and all that too and all that. You know, the content just way different. I was looking at the stuff earlier with my little cousin. The drill music, everybody got a drill scene in every city. Everybody got guns in the video. Everybody, like, they don't do nothing but just do that. I just wish more that they had a little balance. I know they're gonna have their gangster stuff because Pac and them did it too, but it's just like everybody just running and just grabbing a gun and just jumping in the video and dissing everybody. I feel like, you know, I'd be wishing they put a little more of their soul into the music. That's why I like the DMX and Pac and all that. So I still love music the same way and all that, but yeah, the blogging just something I'm good at, but the music is where my heart at.
So all right, so we're gonna touch up on the blogging, but as far as the music, because I'm glad you say that, because well, all right, so on this podcast I like to say that this is a safe place for one.
Right.
And we're gonna keep it real, like we ain't sparing no feelings. So how you feel? Because me personally, especially as being an artist in this era, we both know that times is different.
Right.
It's cultivating, right? It's kind of hard to say and I'm gonna leave it alone, but I would say it's like, it seemed like it's less of artistry in today and so much other variables playing around it. It's like it's not focused on the actual talent or the journey or the process or the development. It's just a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And so how you feel about that?
There'd be a lot of chaos, but I think all this developers are missing. I don't think I think people don't need to have all those adjustment around them and stuff like that. You got friends, music ain't it, or they need to work on it, tell them to go work on it, or maybe they don't need to rap, right? Maybe they probably could be a videographer. Maybe they probably can be a manager, a CEO or something like that, you know? So I just think people got to find out what they're good at, but I do feel like that's missing. I feel like real great songwriting and all that, you know, and then I feel like a lot of people since it's so is oversaturated too. So it's a lot. So you can find great music, but it's hard. It's just like trying to find a great record to sample. You got to dig through the crates. It's the same thing trying to find somebody to curate a dope playlist. You could find it. It's diamonds in the rough out there, but it ain't easy to come by. But they still have great dope artists out there all over the world. It's just harder to find because everybody could just get to a studio. Everybody could just make a song. And a lot of time people don't put a lot of thought into the music. They just see what everybody else doing. They're like, man, they doing and they getting views. Let me just do something. Just get some attention. So let me just diss them and everybody gonna pay attention. You know?
So let me touch on that, because I feel like it's just like how you say they definitely have those artists out there.
Right.
I feel like we just are in an era popularity is overweighing talent and substance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I don't know who we could blame that on, the consumers or the artists, because it's hard to kind of blame an artist if that's what the people want.
Yeah.
If that's what people catering to, that's what they're supporting, that's what they're, you know, embracing. It's kind of birthing these new artists or this new era.
Right.
But it's like you say, there is artists with the different substance and the storytelling and, you know what I'm saying, concepts and more talent, but it's just like we're in an era that's kind of not popular.
Right.
So I feel like what we lacking the most in this music scene is substance, and I feel like that's because popularity is being put to the forefront.
I think that too, and I think just like the unfortunate demise of Fulio and looking at how him and Ace go back and forth, they most popular records are when they dissing each other very bad and very disrespectful. And that started a lot in Chicago. Like they took it to another level, pissing on people's graves. Excuse my French. Like people just took it over the top.
Right.
So people feel off mess. People love that. You could watch the news in New Orleans. People want to see somebody got killed.
Right.
But if they just built a new school, opened up a new park, If Dookie Chase families open up a new restaurant, people
not
not gonna
relevant.
talk about that or
Right.
whatever. But if somebody got smoked at the second line, everybody gonna talk about that.
Right.
You know, so people, that's just what it is. It's unfortunate, but people love mess. People love drama. People love like reality shows. When a woman on there fighting and all that, pulling each other out, acting
drama.
ignorant, the drama, they like that. But if they're on there going to college, like on College Hill, you probably, I don't know if you're young enough to remember, but BT at College Hill, the first one was in Southern. They going to school, doing stuff like that, being productive.
Right.
That ain't, you know, a bestseller. But if
Right.
they got some bullshit going on, everybody like that. So
People
I think
invested.
that people buy into the bullshit. But I would say, and I thought about it too, because I see you got the nose earring, and I thought about Pac. Even though Pac might have hit him up, or you know, songs like that or whatever, you know, riding on his enemies and all that stuff, he still had the Dear Mamas, to keep your heads up. The Brenda's Got a
The
Baby,
balance
the
of
One
it.
More Change. You know, I Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto. He had a lot of deeper songs than just that. A lot of these artists, when you think of their catalog, you can only think of one thing. All they could do is just say, man, every song you listen to is they dissing. Like, go on the
Right.
YouTube channel. Every song is like, God damn. And all your little potters doing that. So they feel like they're getting fame off it. So they gonna keep doing more of it and all that. And they feel like, I ain't gotta do nothing else, man. They like me because of this.
Right.
So I'm gonna just do this. And then when they get smoked, then everybody feeling bad. You know, so I just feel like they buying into it because people, you know, playing into the shit, but people losing their life. Like in Chicago, they'll talk about that shit
Right.
like it's a video game.
Right.
Like these
Right.
dudes, real people, you know, Duck and all them and all that, you know, that's real people. And
Right.
JoJo, but they died, they don't come back.
It's
People-
real life.
And they making people doing interviews off it, people talking about it, academics making it like it's a one-shot, like it's a video game.
Right,
Like when he
right.
playing a game.
Right.
This ain't a game. People really dying and all that, you know. And
And that's
think
and
that,
it's a sad case, to be honest with you. Just because I know you understand that. Just like when you really got a passion for music and you love the art, the journey, the process of it.
right,
It's kind of like you say, it's kind of watered down in its sense. And it's not like a lot of people take that to where it's like, oh, you know, there's no talent out there. No,
Right.
that's not the thing. It's just
Right.
we in reality, that's not what's being brought to the forefront
Right,
right now. You know, and it's sad, but we got to look in a mirror of what we embracing, what we putting out to the front page. Like, you know, what these kids is listening to, like what's popular right now, they embracing that. They gonna grow up and it's like how you say, like when you was younger, you remember all that because that's who your daddy was listening to.
Right,
and
right.
that's what your peers
Your
was
grandma
listening
and
to.
all that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like now our kids is listening to this shit
Mhm.
about dudes dissing and literally talking about this dude in real life dying.
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? That's the music y'all growing up on. So
Right.
I feel like it's bigger than how people looking at it. They
Right.
looking past it. They just looking at it at a surface level, but it's
Yeah.
way deeper.
And then
than that.
everybody saying they on demon time, is more demonic, it's like, it's just crazy. And they think that shit cool. And the power in the tongue is real and all that. So,
The power in the
like I
tongue
said,
is
I
real.
just think that by the algorithms rewarding that, and then the algorithms know what they're looking for. So when they go on YouTube and they're looking at this, then the algorithm's gonna show them this and that, and then before you know, you get lost in that rabbit hole.
Facts.
And then not all they doing is get consumed with that. So when they could be reading a book, doing something more productive and constructive, they listening to that and they say, man, you know, such beef with him and he
Facts.
got killed and this is the kind of gun they use and they hit him with a switchy and
Right.
this and that and all that. You know, and his legs dropped and man, you saw it, they opened his head up and they think that shit funny and that's somebody, you know, child. So like I said, I'm not saying that people don't like gangster rap and it was gangster music before, but they just took it to another level. I think everything just got intensified, just like how the women, like Lil Kim and them was talking, you know, Lil Kim had the cover when she got her legs bust open, but it's like now it's like with sex rhythm doing, they taking it to a whole nother level. They
Right.
sexualizing. I just seen Glorilla and Ice Spice had a picture where they was kind of doing, I think it was called damn, what kind of challenge they said it was called? It was something like it wasn't a Campbell tour, but it was called it something else. Moose challenge.
Yeah,
or something.
moose foot.
Moose, yeah. So they doing that and it's showing like they print. So
Right.
this is the challenge.
Right.
But when they're saying that men sexualizing women and looking at them like that or whatever, but this what they doing or whatever. But if
Right.
you grab their ass and talk to them like that,
It's a problem.
then you wrong. But it's like this what y'all
This what y'all
putting out there,
encouraging.
whatever, and all, and y'all saying that it's cool. She could do that or whatever. Like you can't disrespect her, but you know you gotta look at it like, come on, like this what you putting out or whatever. So I don't know. It's just like I said, I just think the internet just opened it up because you couldn't put certain shit like that on 106 and Park.
Right.
Certain shit couldn't be on
Right.
BT unless it came on Uncut at night. When Nelly did the tip drill shit with the swiping the card, they got on Nelly ass.
Right.
But the shit they doing today is way worse than what Nelly did. But back then, they want to hit Nelly with the guillotine and chop the shit off in the bucket.
And now they embracing it. I feel like labels is looking for that. Like that's what
Right.
they're looking, because it's profitable for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like, That's a rabbit hole in itself. You could go deeper down into, but it's like
everybody twerking, all the girls, every BET award. Like you ain't had to see Lauren, even if, and I don't think Lil Kim was shaking that much, but it's like all the girls that's their move. They get up there, they shake their ass. Everybody, they this one do it. Glorilla's, Ice Spice. I'm like, but when Evening was doing it, and Mia X and all that, and MC Light and all that, like Salt and Pepper, like they still was, Queen Latifah. It was a lot of dope. Was Missy. Her videos was dope. The aliens, the spaceships, all the shit she was doing. She really was putting her thoughts into her stuff. So I just feel like people is not as creative. They just doing what's easy. And I just feel like they don't put a lot of thought into the stuff and a lot of stuff. That's why everything just seems the same. Like everybody doing, a lot of the same shit.
It's sickening, bro.
Nothing disruptive towards that. I'm gonna add this to that too. That's like when DMX came out, when Puffin was dancing all around New York. Bad, shiny suits, everybody. DMX came with, get at me, dog. And Irv got it on the video. He take the Timberland boots in the tunnel, which was a club that was really dangerous in Brooklyn, and hit them together and said, let's take this shit back to the streets, mother. And then that come on, it's in black and white because Puffin was shiny suits dancing around, so he wanted to be gritty. That came back to the streets. That was disruptive.
Right.
So when you come with something disruptive, when 50 Cent came with Ja Rule and there was all that singing and, all that love it, every thug needed, then 50 Cent come. That was disruptive. That's why he sold so many records. Nelly, when he came with his sound, it was and even though what Sexy Red doing right now is disruptive because when more girls are dressing like Nicki Minaj, all the designer, Chanel, and Fendi, Sexy Red dressing like the average hood girl that might be wearing rainbow.
So it's embraceful. It's
embraceful because she looked like them, and I think that's why she disruptive. So they do have people like her, and there's nothing wrong with what she doing, but that's why some people might still feel like it's just pushing it, like she going forward with it, and some kids following it. But like I said, to each his own. But the record labels feel like that's what people want to see, and they're gonna keep giving it to them.
To each his own, but it's like at some point, man, it's like you said, at some point when we gonna get out of this camouflage era, it's just like everybody blending in, going with the flow, going with the trend. You know what I'm saying? And so, which goes to my next question: how do we break that?
Well, you have to have artists that's willing to go out and be there to be different. Anytime you doing something that's disruptive, even in the music business, when the songs changed from the CDs to the digital era, that was disruptive. Right. Like I said, with DMX, they was disruptive. With Jeff Bezos did selling books on Amazon, then he went to selling sofas and barbecue grills, from books to that or whatever. That disrupted how people did stuff in the retail store like Walmart. Right. So anytime you're doing something disruptive, it's gonna be a shift. Like I said, DMX was a disruption to them. So if somebody come with something dope. That's why Lauryn Hill was so big in her time, because at the time when everybody was doing what they was doing, Lauryn came with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and that album was disruptive. Right. And it was that's why I won all those Grammys. So I think it's gonna take people that's different, and hopefully people want to listen to stuff like that, because I feel like it's out there. But like you said, the algorithms is what they've been looking at, and it's just been sucked into it, and they just feel like is then brainwashed into. That's all they think is cool.
So look, so I'm glad you said that.
That dopamine hitting them.
Yeah, like, so I'm glad you, because like we say, I feel like it is out there, but all right. So let me use me for example, and I know a lot of people say, a lot of artists say they different. I understand that, but I do feel like I'm not part of that trend. Right. And I feel like that's where the lack of exposure come at for me. Right. Because it's not popular. And I'm not willing to sacrifice that to blend in. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and I know I'm not the only one. Right. It's a bunch of us out there like that. So how do we, even though I understand that we that itself being different can be disruptive. Right. But if it's not getting enough exposure or it's not being brought to the forefront, how do it resonate?
Well, I think you gotta find places with people that like the music you like. Like if you think about college kids or whatever, like J. Cole, like he might find his audience, or Kendrick might find his audience a Chance the Rapper, because Chance in Chicago and most of the music is gangster rap, but Chance big, you know, his album do really good, his mixtape do good, and the Grammys reward him and stuff like that. So I think it's all about just finding your niche and your audience and all that, and build with them and do intimate shows, tell your story, try to find places of, you know, blogs and stuff that kind of cater to your audience. I think that's what it's about, finding whatever and telling your story. Because like you said, if you ain't doing nothing outlandish and crazy, then it's going to definitely be harder. But it'll always be harder for the real to kind of break through. But people like J. Cole and people like Chance the Rapper and all that show you that it's possible. But it ain't easy, like you're right, because that's not what's pushed in the forefront and all. That's not what everybody feel like gonna do numbers on the blogs and get a bunch of crazy engagement. But I think when people really see it at festivals, the real true fans find it, they definitely will appreciate it and love it or whatever, I think.
Right. So I feel like that's kind of reason why I started this podcast, to have transparent conversations. Like I don't really call my I don't call them episodes, I call it sessions. Like I want this to be like a therapy.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you come sit down with me, it feel like we've been knowing each other for the longest, because we just having a fluent conversation. We bringing, and we gonna talk about it, but we talking about real life shit that the internet not talking about. People making it look all good and all for artists who really got substance. Just like you say, the shit gonna be harder. Right. And for me personally, I'm cool with that, because that mean once it do hit, it's gonna last longer. I'm gonna last a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard as fuck. And at this point, it has been. Right. But once it do hit, it's gonna last longer. And that's just anything with substance. That's with anything with quality. You know what I'm saying? It might be harder to get in, but it's gonna be easier to last longer. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, bruh, we in an era where just real shit not being brought to the forefront. And I feel like people who claim that that's who they are and they pushing a different narrative, I feel like that shit up to us. Like it's up to us to push that out there and spread different messages, and you know what I'm saying, and show people the other side of reality, that's because it's a false reality through the internet right now. It's a big ass false reality, but you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's a responsibility of people who are aware of that to push that narrative that, you know what I'm saying, like this is cool, all fun and games, but this what other people really going through, you know what I'm saying? Like this is reality. This how this shit really work, you know what I'm saying? So
that's like, I know the guy Reese or whatever, his music really dope too, and he got the backpack hip hop sound, and he been able to build an audience even though New Orleans has been like mostly gangster rap historically, Soulja Slim, BG, you know, the Hot Boys type stuff, but he doing this thing for his audience and all that. And I think that, but even back to like the media and all that, like even me being in blogging, like if I post somebody just graduated or got all these degrees or this or that, or this something about some history with Haiti and New Orleans, a lot of times people wouldn't even pay attention to that. Right. But if I post some shit about some messy shit, then the comments go crazy. If I post a list about who the hottest rappers in the city and who ain't on the list, and everybody named more that don't even follow me gonna be on it. Man, them niggas on that, fuck them niggas, why you put them on? That's gonna go. But if I post something that's like knowledgeable information that they can learn from about Desmond Tutu, W.B. Du Bois, you know, some with Booker T. Washington, anything, whatever, Langston Hughes, you know, so they're not gonna care to want to see that. They like, oh, so you gotta give it to them in doses. So I still try to do it or whatever. But it's hard because, like I said, they don't be caring a lot about that stuff, and that's the thing I hate or whatever.
It's conflicting.
Yeah, because the media stuff. And I'm gonna go. I was thinking about something earlier when I was thinking about how they always romanticize the gangster stuff and all that. And I think about even Al Capone in Chicago back in his day or whatever, in the 30s and the 20s during Prohibition. He was always in the newspaper, and they was always acting, you know, like he was a hero to some or whatever. And all, he had the soup line and all that, soup kitchen. People that was poor could come over there and eat during the Great Depression. John Gotti, Teflon Don, he beating he all on Time magazine, everybody like he was a hero. Right. Gangster stuff or whatever, romanticizing it. Michael Jackson, if you look at a lot of the videos, Smooth Criminal, they got Tommy guns on there, whatever. Mafia, you got The Way You Make Me Feel, when he got all the dudes that look like Crips and stuff like that, and they dance, chase behind a woman with them. Right. But they look like gangbangers. Beat It. Dudes pulling out knives and all that and stuff like that. Pulling out knives, that was like New York gangsters. So people always been romanticizing gangster stuff and all that. It's like America love gangster shit.
I feel like people love stuff that they're not really living. Right. It's like an alter ego. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to fantasize, you know, this not your reality, so this person or this type of style make you feel like it is
close to it, like like Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. They don't gotta really be in it, but they could play San Andreas and feel like they gang banging and this and that. Right. And that's why I was even thinking about when I was talking about the stuff with BG situation, how the you know, the federal government was coming at him so hard about his lyrics and the music and the content. I'm like, well, damn, they coming at Jesus like that. But look how San Andreas can make a game like that about gang banging, prostitution, drug dealing, and it's a game that they're selling to kids. Right. But they're not trying to shut them down, you know. But and Johnny Cash can say he could kill a man in Reno, or Donald Trump can say I could kill somebody in the middle of Times Square, and all my people gonna still come out and vote for me. This is the president of the United States speaking like this. Right. But if BG say something on the song, he bad. But this the man that's the leader of the free world saying this, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Right. Or whatever. Right. You know, so it's crazy.
It's not fair game. It's not fair game. Yeah. But you know what, also, I feel like, you know, with all that being said, I feel like we coming to times that shit about to shift, bruh. Like it is the era about to change. Like we about to start. I feel like artists, and not even just artists, topics and most stuff about to be brought to the forefront that's more relatable. You know what I'm saying? It's like how you say, because it go both ways. Like people feel like they won't relate to gangster shit because they're not living that.
Right.
But I do feel like you find somebody who talking about, let's talk about like depression. A lot of motherfuckers are depressed. Probably don't even know they're depressed, but that's real life feelings. Like, you know what I'm saying? But how many people you hear talking about that shit? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it worked both ways where people fantasizing about a reality they're not living, but there's also people who looking for their reality through people who have platforms that's not really sharing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll use Rod Wave, for example. A lot of people say he's depressed and sad, but it's a lot of depressed and sad motherfuckers looking for a way out. You know what I'm saying?
That's how Juice WRLD was. DMX was very depressed. I had family members and friends that I didn't personally been connected to that I know was dealing with stuff like that now. And like I said, a lot of people do go through that. A lot of people try to drink it probably. A lot of people use drugs, whatever. A lot of people do a lot of things that they try to do to kind of get away from their reality or whatever. But like you said, a lot of people do relate to people like Youngboy, DMX, Rod Wave definitely talk about it a lot. X used to talk about it a lot before he got killed in Florida and stuff like that. You know, so I think that is something that people need to talk about a lot or whatever. And a lot of people don't think men can have problems. They think, oh man, you crying or whatever, you whining, man up and all that like that. But when people, you know, die from killing themselves, from shooting themselves in the head, or overdose, or try to drive themselves off a cliff like Deion Sanders said he did before when he was playing for Cincinnati Reds, that shit is real or whatever and all that. People go through it, but I just think that everybody feel like you a man, stop crying. You could be going through stuff with your baby mama. You could be going through stuff that you once had and you ain't got it no more. You know, people that you had they back, they turn their back on you. And people deal with things different and all that stuff like that. But I think that people should be able to express themselves openly without people so much saying, oh man, stop crying like a little man up and all that. And then when they hurt themselves or they do something that take their life or whatever, you like, man, I really wish I would have stepped in. I really wish I'd have listened more. I wish I would.
Now it's too late.
Try to hear them out. You know, it's too late. Yeah.
And that's why I call these sessions. You know what I'm saying? Because I want people to. Nobody perfect. Nobody always sad. Everybody go through shit, but we not always open to talk about that shit. And that's something I'm big on. Like, man, no. If I ask you how you doing, no, like, how the fuck you really doing? Especially as a black man, bro. Like, because like how you say, we taught the bottle shit up. We taught that soft, express. You know,
stop being a little bit when you're a little boy. But hit you and stuff. Stop crying like a little girl. So you can't express yourself. So, but you got to think about it. The crazy thing is, the women and even the guys, but definitely the women, they like Youngboy, very emotional. DMX was very emotional. Kevin Gates, very emotional. Tupac Shakur, very emotional. I mean, I could go on and on about Rod Wave, very emotional. So all the artists that they really love a lot is very, very emotional. And they always in their feelings. And I feel like that come down to ignorance. Like I heard you say you read. You know what I'm saying? I read a lot too, and I'm more in tune. I got my degree in sociology. Okay, so that's kind of what the base of it at. But I always had an open ear for the other side of shit, or like the studying the behaviors of people. You know, like in reality, people go through shit and don't know how to communicate what they're going through. And they think by bottling up or covering up, they helping it, but you're really making that shit worse. Just like a man, like you teach a man at a young age to bottle that shit up, that'd be the same motherfuckers who grow up and don't know how to control their anger. And they lash out, trip out, they go to prison, they don't know, you know what I'm saying? So they spiral out of control.
It spiral out of control. So we creating a triple down effect, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like as someone who is aware of that, it's a responsibility to push out like, no, man, express what you really going through. Like, you ain't soft just because, man, like, fuck, I had a bad day, or I feel like crying, or I'm fucked up right now, I'm hurt, I'm sad, or I'm heartbroken. That's really what you going through, so why is it a problem to say it? You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I think that when DMX was so big, that was so different. Like, nobody never seen a grown man get on stage and just break down in tears. Like, people like, what the hell? Like, but he really put his feelings out there. Like, he let you know, he was, his mama was so hard on him. He grew up in boys' homes and in and out of prison and drugs and all that, being homeless. He put it all out there, and people knew this was really him. We seen it all in the media play out in front of us. So I think you're right. Like, people got to be able to express themselves without being so judgmental, and I think that's the problem. That as black people, definitely, we taught that you can't, show your feelings and all that stuff like that. So like I said, a lot of people don't know how to cope with stuff. A lot of people feel like if I tell somebody, they're going to make me feel bad about it. So they feel like before I tell somebody how I feel and then make me feel bad about it, I'm gonna just keep it in. I'm gonna try to deal with it how I feel like, and that's gonna be me drinking or drugging.
Right.
But that's gonna just make it worse.
That's gonna make it
and
worse.
just make you go deeper into, that hole or whatever, and you're gonna, you probably go to rehabs and try to get help. But they don't really care a lot of times. They just get money and all that, and if and they'll give you a little something and then send you back on your way. And before you know it, you become a statistic and all that. And I think that, us as family members, we gotta try to pay attention to the signs and all that stuff like that, and try to get around them with that love and all that.
I call it curse breaking, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I say, I always had that mind state, but it was till I had my daughter, and I was adamant that there was no way I'm passing that shit down to her.
Another generation.
Yeah, it's like, it's not about to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I had to really stand on business with my mama, my baby's mama, her family. Like, I had to stand on business. Like, no, y'all think just because this what y'all was taught or what y'all used to, y'all just about to pass that down and that's normal. No, like, you at some point you gotta look in the mirror and reflect. Like, all right, maybe this is what I was taught. This is what I'm used to. It's easier for me to keep in motion. But is it right? Is it helping? Is it effective? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as people, and especially as black people, we can't do that. Right. It's hard for us to do that. And I feel like even in New Orleans, bro, like we got that bad. I feel like we don't know how to communicate. I feel like you people getting a lot of shootouts and fights because it's a simple miscommunication. And y'all escalated that shit and it went off. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a big problem in our city. You know what I'm saying? So
I think communication is key in a relationship and just in life and everything. Like, communication is very important. Like you said, a lot of people get killed and a lot of wars get started over simple miscommunication, simple disrespect, how you talking to people, your tone, and just being taught wrong ways and knowing that this ain't the way to talk to nobody. This ain't a way to get people to want to do something for you and try to see it your way and all that stuff like that. People communication skills definitely be off and all, and I definitely feel like in New Orleans and just in the South sometime or whatever and all that, people just be so quick to want to fight and feel like be G'd up and thinking it's just always got to be gangster. No, man, gangster could be trying to hear people out, trying to see if there's another way we could resolve this without it going this way, with somebody going to jail for the rest of their life, or somebody getting murdered and losing a family member because you stepped on his shoe, or because you thought he was looking at you,
something
because
small.
you felt played at the DJ and all that when it was something that wasn't even that serious. So, communication is definitely important in all that. And even with, like you said, having, your mom's kid, the mother of your child and all that, being able to understand you and all that, and saying, just because your mom and them beat the kids or because you was taught this way, that don't mean it's right. Because a lot of people was taught by dysfunctional people. Right. And it's pouring down. I seen a video, they had a person, they were pouring like some brown stuff in a glass, and they poured another stuff. They were saying, this the mom, this the grandmother, and this the mama. This the great grandma, and poured and then they poured the water, and then they cleared it all out, and then they poured it to the kid where it was clear. They were just saying, we got all the toxic stuff out there, and we didn't pass it down to the next one. But the grandma passed down to the mama, then the mama was gonna pass down to the daughter, but they stopped it. Right. So it take people to be accountable.
That's it.
That's a big thing, whatever. And people got to know when they wrong. A lot of times people don't never want to say, I was wrong, I fucked up, I'm tripping, whatever. Some people act like they too good to say that, I dropped the ball.
Right. And I feel like people don't know how, bro. It's definitely an ego. And like I said, I feel like people don't know how, bro. And I tell this to a lot of people, like, especially with people who come to me with like relationship advice, like, they get mad at somebody for doing something, and I try to explain to them, like, okay, have you met their parents? How do their parents act? Because if they parents do that same shit you mad about, you can't be mad at them. Not justifying it or giving them an excuse, but they doing what was taught to them. So if the person that raised them told them it's okay, how you gonna be mad at them?
That's true. My mom used to always say, you gotta, like, to understand people, you gotta understand where they come from and who taught them and all that. So you're only as good as the people that taught you. Exactly. So if you was taught to be like selfish, you don't give nobody no money, give me, push, everything for me. Somebody could be needing, your friend could need like $1 to get a cheeseburger, and I don't got it, you got a pocket full of money. You just was raised to be tight because that's how everybody was. In our house, you couldn't really come home with just like a cheeseburger and fries from McDonald's. You had to probably get a couple of cheeseburgers. If you had that much to buy, about $5 worth of stuff, whatever, you better go get like some luncheon meat, some cheese, a loaf of bread, a jug of punch. That way, and a bag of big chips or something like that. So everybody can eat it, whatever. Now, my dad would get the loaf on French with all the ham and cheese, and he'll cut it up and everybody sit down and eat, and everybody get a piece. I get a bunch of chicken from churches. The Popeyes was for the baller to get us in churches. So, but everybody wasn't just, I'm gonna just give me a 3-piece and y'all ain't gonna eat. So that's how we was taught. But if you taught by people that teach you how to be selfish and how to be disrespectful and curse people out, and they'll have women that'll teach their son to punch a middle finger at him, they turn their middle finger, fuck you, bitch.
Right.
And they laugh and they think that's cute.
Right.
But when he grow up and go and spiral out of control and get in trouble in school, he fighting everybody, disrespectful, and then he end up in jail, and then he get caught up in the penal system.
You asking yourself why?
You accelerated that. But if you taught him how to read books like Barack Obama mom made him get up every morning and read some, Pac mom made him read the newspaper when he was in trouble, you see what it happened. It turned out he was real educated. So you aren't as good as the people that teach you, like you said.
That's it. And that's it, bro. And I feel like, you know, we got to get better at that. Just like expectations, like, you know, not even just like a, you know, girl and boy relationship, a friend relationship, a partner relationship, a brother relationship. Your expectations of people can't be so high without understanding where they come from or understanding why they do what they do. Not necessarily saying it's your responsibility, but if you are in something with somebody, it's like a business relationship. Like if you know this person does this type of way, why are you expecting something different just because it's a transaction with you? You know what I'm saying? That's not reality. Like if I know you this type of person and you do something within what I expect, why am I expecting something different? You know what I'm saying? So I shouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? So while you're on that topic, I like to ask everybody, bro, like what's your 1 through 10? What would you rate your mental status right now?
Mental status right now, I would probably say an 8 or whatever.
That's good.
I mean, it could be better and all that stuff like that, but it's things like, you know, minor little things. But I know they got. My mom always say, you know, all the time we always did feel bad and think that we was going through something. She was like, somebody today waking up in hospice, somebody today waking up in the emergency room or whatever and all, and they don't know if they're gonna make it, or somebody didn't make it today. You know, or somebody don't have a place to live. So when we probably thought it was bad, I think something going on to somebody with something that's going on way worse than me. So I always try to know that it's okay for me to be sad or down, or the car broke, or maybe the money ain't where I wanted to be at yet or whatever, but I'm working towards it and it's gonna get better later. But as long as I'm breathing, I'm healthy, my mom and them still breathing or whatever, I can still say that it's better than, you know, some others. So I would still say an 8 or whatever and all that, but you know. That's
good, bro, especially that you're aware. And like I see, just by hearing you talk and hearing that you in books, like, you know, you got a different conscience and awareness than the general person, bro. Like, you know, it's about 90% of people who don't have a simple thing as an awareness, you know what I'm saying? You can't fix something that you ain't aware about, you know what I'm saying? So that's good, bro. I applaud you for that, for sure.
I want to say this too, because I remember when I was young, I don't even know if I ever told this story, but they had a guy, I'm gonna just say where he was from or whatever. He was from out of Desire. We used to be in Holtwood or whatever. And my brother that's in, you know, doing life, and my partner Kerry, all in Brian, all this. I think we was at Livingston Middle School. We probably was at probably was 9, maybe we was at Livingston, 8th grade year. And all of them, you know, used to have something called Fun Arcade. I don't know if they went to Fun Arcade. I'm thinking they went to Aladdin's Castle. That was in the plaza. You had to get tokens and all that. Now you can put your dollars and they get the tokens out or whatever. So we'll either go there and get some pizza at CC's Pizza. You pay like $3.99, get the pizza. So I was always a dreamer. Like I said, I want to be an entrepreneur, own restaurants, do stuff. I'm dreaming big. My brother and them, you know, they like looking up to the hustlers and all that stuff like that. So I guess he didn't like the guy that was getting the money. He didn't really like me a lot because he felt like, you know, oh, he think he this or he think he gonna be that. And, you know, I wasn't not looking down on him, but I was just like, I know I won't do this and do that. My brother and them, they was like, they was just cool hustling and wanting to do that. Like, man, he got the nice car, he got the girls and all that. I'm looking at the man on TV with the suits and Jet Magazine and Ebony and all that. So he was like, look, I'm gonna take all y'all to the game room, whatever. He took all of them to go to the game room and get pizza, go to the players in the food court and get Chinese food. I don't know if they went and got pizza or they went to the food court and got Chinese and go play the game. He bought everybody with me. And I was telling my brother and them and my partner, Kerry, I was like, man, I really felt played, bro, that day, bro, because I just seen all y'all walking off and y'all left me. And I was just sitting there and I was feeling bad and I was sad and I was crying. And I was like, damn, bro, here I am trying to be different, you know, and everybody else, like in the hood, just want to just be dope boys and jackers and all that shit like that around Holtwood and Tyler Lane, because that's what you know, because around this time, this a little after the Desire started getting knocked down. So 95 it started getting knocked down, not the whole project, but That's when they started not because the foundation was bad and the project they built it on bad soil.
Okay.
So a lot of them was coming to different places, and most of them was coming to the east because it's right there. It's part of the Ninth Ward technically. So like I said, he was out the project or whatever and all that. And like I said, I was like, damn. Now I love the project because I got a lot of people that desire project that's family. But this particular guy was, but I'm not gonna say his name. But that definitely did hurt me. And when they walked away, I was like, damn. I was sad because I was like, here I am thinking I'm doing something good and trying to do something positive, but he feel like because you won't do like that, I don't want to spend my money on you. You know, I'm gonna bring them or whatever. And he did that and all that. My brother was like, man, I didn't know you felt like that at the time, bro. We was thinking, but you know, yeah, we could see it now. Whatever that probably wasn't right or whatever.
Right, right. And man, honestly, bro, that's like the base of a lot of things that's happening with transactions now, bro. Like with just in general, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, if somebody's like how we talk about somebody not really used to a certain way somebody else is, you kind of getting shut out. You know what I'm saying? Just like, well, like, oh, that's not what everybody else doing.
Right,
it's different, but I'm gonna shut you out. I ain't really used to seeing that. I don't really mess with that.
But you know why it's crazy though too? Cause you know most time you'll hear dudes say the D boys was always the one saying, man, he different, man. Y'all keep him on the right track or he. But that was different. So that's why I like to share that story because most people always say everybody out here from New York to Chicago to Miami, man, the dudes in the hood that was getting the money, they was like, no, man, go ahead and man, make sure he's straight or whatever. And all that. Don't mess with him. He was like, nah, leave that nigga and all that book read nigga, whatever. We going to play the game, y'all going to do this, whatever. And I guess to me, it was like he was grooming them to be in the streets. Right. You know, like on the wire. Remember on the wire, your boy liked it. But it's crazy. He wanted your boy because he was feeling like he was the smartest or whatever. But he took him for that or whatever. But the dude looked at me like, nah, no, leave him. Y'all come. He gonna stay.
He probably felt some type of way, bro, to be honest.
It was probably something eternally in him. I'm thinking, looking back at it now, that's what it was.
He probably felt some type of way. Like he probably ain't never seen that before. Like, man, you know, like I ain't where he at. So, and I feel like shit, that's going on today. Like if somebody feel like they can't get what you got, they don't fuck with you. Right. Or they gonna feel like you hating this. Reality is the other way around.
He probably wanted to be like, he probably wanted to be the smart dude that was reading back then.
He didn't know how.
He didn't probably like that he got to live his life the way he got to live it, even though he making money and look over his shoulder. He probably was, you know, looking at it now. Yeah, that's probably how he probably looked at it.
That's probably it.
But that was things he was going through eternally, like you said.
Like a communication too, though. They know how to communicate that, you know what I'm saying? But we getting better. And I feel like we're in an age now that people are more aware of their mental health. They're more aware of communication. Like I don't talk too much on negative shit because I feel like we getting better. Like it's slowly but surely shit getting better, bro. Like people more aware. It's just not as popular as probably we'd like it to be, bro. So, and speaking of popular shit, you probably noticed by now I don't like talking about general topics.
Right. And that's cool.
Yeah, but we gonna talk about one, bro.
I can talk about that. I like to do stuff that's different because I done been on a lot of podcasts and interviews and all that. So you know, whatever way you go, I'm gonna go whatever way you go, whatever.
Right.
You know? So that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, I won't sit down and have a conversation, bro. Like we've been knowing each other for 10 years or so. But nah, for sure, we gotta talk about the sign, bro. The Cash Money Street sign, bro. Okay. Like tell the people about that process, how you made that happen.
Okay, first of all, Baby, I talk. We, in New Orleans, we call Baby. Most people to the world gonna call him Birdman, which is his stage name. But in New Orleans, we gonna Baby, Stunner, B32, Beatrice. There's a lot of names from whatever, but for sure, Baby. Right. So me and Baby was on the phone talking because Baby got cool with me because what I had did with BTY Youngin, and he liked what I was doing when I was working with Youngin. Because Baby was working with Youngin before he, passed away in 2017. So anyway, I had a relationship with Baby, whatever, and all that. So one night, me and Baby was on the phone. We always be talking. And he'd tell me all kind of stuff about, how he got in the game and just a lot of stuff. So I was looking on the internet and all that. I'm seeing stuff like, they got street names that they're doing for like Allen Iverson, but then I see like Tupac Shakur in Oakland. I'm seeing Too Short in Oakland. I'm seeing E40 got some in Vallejo, Missy Elliott, Easy E, and I knew Biggie and them had one in Brooklyn. It was a lot of them. And I was like, man, we got to do that for Baby or whatever. But before that, I had met with David Hudson or whatever and stuff like that. So David Hudson, if you're familiar with the producer Cam Beamer, he worked with Cam Beamer or whatever and other artists too. So David worked close to right by City Hall where all the council members work at. Or his building he working is right next to it. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, he working the clerk of court office in the records department and all that. So, So anyway, David had relationships in there or whatever. So Baby never got a key to the city, first of all. So I seen Master P had got a key to the city, I think around 2020, around COVID with Juggy or whatever. So I'm like, man, we got to get this for Stunner or whatever and all that. So we got that around in February. So I was telling Dave, we got to do this. So like I said, I seen that all them other people was getting him, and I felt like he deserved it too. Because when I looked at the magazine in XXL, when I went to doing more research, I'm like, man, they only had 14 people got this in hip hop in the last 50 years since hip hop been around, and most of them are deceased. Even Dolph in Memphis, they wanted to make everybody feel better. They did it for Dolph in Memphis. They did it for Nipsey Hussle in LA after he got killed. Baby and them alive. So I was telling David, man, we got to do this for Stunner and all that. So David, having relationships over there, David had reached out to Leslie Harris. She is the council member over District B. That's our district uptown. But David reached out to her. He went to emailing Ella Conway, which is, I think, her assistant over there. So they was emailing, communicating. David got it done. He spearheaded. So I planted the seed, told David, and then David Hudson did it and went to, like, you know, pump it for it or whatever. And like I said, then we finally made it happen and all that stuff like that. So we got it approved in April. All of them said yes to it or whatever, all the council members. And we said on record that we want to try to get it done for Master P also and Tyler Perry. Because like I said, Jay Prince don't got it in Houston. Uncle Luke don't got it in Miami. He been around, you know, before Master P and Baby and them. And even Jermaine Dupri don't got it in Atlanta. Right. So for us to be able to get that for Baby and them, that was big, Baby and Slim. And I don't think a lot of people still understood the magnitude of that moment. Right. Like, people still taking that shit lighted. People get that shit when they die. And like I said, David had got the lady out there with the red carpet. You seen the videos of it there, the red carpet with the ropes. He got a lady to come out and do that. We got guys to do great paintings and all that stuff like that. We had the food truck out there, Prali out there. We had DJ Chicken out there. We had Myron and the Tramps out there. I mean, we had so many people. You know, we had Polo out there taking pictures and all that. All these people came out or whatever, and it was really, really big or whatever. But we did it on Saratoga and Rattle, even though Baby and them lived on Valence and Magnolia. We met BG at in the 13th. But that ball where his dad used to own, Mr. Johnny, was really, really has a big place in his heart. And his name after his mom, Miss Gladys. So we wanted to do it on Saratoga and Rattle, and that's why you see the honorary street right there now.
Yeah, I didn't know that, bro. I didn't know that, but man, big shout out to y'all, because it's something like how you say, bro, they do this shit for people that's dead. And it's kind of like how we talked about it. You know, people get their flowers, or people tend to come support when somebody died. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's important that we do that shit while people are alive, man. So big shout out to you and David, bro, for doing that shit, because that's big. And like you said, man, it ain't getting the recognition that it should, and it's because they're alive. Right. And it's sad to say, but that's the truth.
And the thing about it is like I said, is an intersection. So it's not a full street name, it's an intersection. So it's where their streets meet at. So that corner is the Williams brothers corner. Just like how they did it for the Neville brothers and all that. They did one for the Neville brothers in the 13 on Valence or whatever. So yeah, that's Slim and Baby stuff. And like I said, at one time, like David said, you did have to be deceased to get it, you know, but now they changed the law where you can be alive. So anytime you see one of them orange streets anywhere throughout New Orleans with the Florida leaves on 3 Florida leaves on each side, that's an honorary street, and it's named after somebody that did something notable in pop culture or something like that, in civil rights or anything like that or whatever.
Man, that's big, bro. That's big, because we get a lot of, you know, it's a lot of negative shit going on, but that's all that's talked about what's going on, and that's big. Like that's the city showing love, bro. Like, and it has always talked about how the city don't show love. You know, some shit is justified, but when they do show love, we need to talk about that just as much as we talk about when they don't show love and all the negative shit going on. We need to talk about when they do come together, especially by Baby and them being alive, bro. Everybody know what Baby and them did for not only New Orleans but damn near the whole South.
Yeah, so the South culture period, the way they deal was, it was so disruptive. I mean, how long it lasted and evolving from a bounce label to, you know, becoming big as they can with Nicki and Drake and Wayne and pop music. All the records that Drake then broke, all the people that Lil Wayne influenced, Baby influenced. So it was only right or whatever and stuff like that. And I know a lot of times they be like, well, you can only do so many a year, or we can only do so many for music people. When you think of New Orleans, 2 things people think of is food and music. Right. Like we host the most festivals in the country. Right. And all that. Like, jazz is popular in New Orleans, and it started in New Orleans, but it's not the premier music of the day. It's not the 1930s or the 20s and all that stuff like that. So hip hop is the most popular music and all that, and they played a big part in that. So it's only right that me and David was able to get some unfinished business done and come for everything that we felt like they deserve. And I feel like we was able to accomplish what we set out to do, whatever and all that. So like I said, shout out to David Hudson. Thank you, Leslie Harris and her assistant. Shout out Freddie King or whatever. And all the other council members too, whatever and all that. We appreciate it.
Man, yeah. Shout out to y'all for putting that together.
And the mayor too, because the mayor, like I said, the mayor had gave and I think the guy named Mr. Julian or whatever that worked with her, because he was out there shout out to them too. I just want everybody at City Hall that I know, I'm always gonna feel like I miss somebody, but I just want to let them know that from the bottom of my heart, we appreciate them because it couldn't have got done if they didn't sign off on it and all that. We just planted the seed and David, got it all the way to them and then they finished it and all that and Baby and them got what they got.
Nah, most definitely. Like in the city of New Orleans, we need to definitely come together and thank them, like, because y'all come together and y'all get on people's ass who ain't doing right by the city. So y'all need to have that same energy and get together and thank the people who did something good for the city. You know what I'm saying? We already get backlash and not enough recognition as we should.
Right.
So now that we did something good, we need to come together and show them people thanks for doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Too, I wanted to say that too. We was talking to Byron Cole. His mom was named Mama D. I remember when I was younger watching her in the council chambers and all that, talking about things that need to be changed or things that was wrong with the city that she was always advocating for and fighting for. And I know Byron Cole said before his mama passed on a previous administration that they was supposed to give her a street like they did Allen Tucson, like they changed Robbie Lee from a Confederate general, somebody that was bad, to something that was more positive. And she was a positive person. She was one of the most influential 300 people in the last 300 years in New Orleans. So she definitely deserved it. So David and me, and definitely David, said he's going to try to do everything in his power because, Mama D grew up in the Desire Project, but she made her bones a lot in the 7th Ward, and both of us have connections to both of those wards. So we feel like, it's our duty to try to do everything in our power to make them honor that. And I know he got a good relationship with Eugene Green, and that's his district and all that. So, and I hopefully David and Eugene could try to figure out some kind of way to make that happen. And Helen Moreno and all the people over there down there.
Man, y'all let me know because I love to be a part of that, bro. Like I see, it's so much negative shit being pushed, but we gotta push more positive shit. So right. I love to be a part of it and get some more part of people to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Push the positive narrative, right. Which gonna go to my other conversation, which is how you feel about the lack of support New Orleans got going on.
What you mean, like support? Because they support. People support. What you talking about? Because I know people support Line James. I got my Avenue stuff on.
So let me say, I'm glad you said it like that because I feel like once New Orleans come together, they could take shit over by a storm, like really, really bad. And we a small city, but we could take over big cities if we came together as a collective. Right. But I feel like how we talking about how people support popularity and they choose to support algorithm stuff. Right. I feel like New Orleans people support stuff when they see other people support it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the same thing with Baby and them stuff. Right. It ain't being recognized enough because not enough people seeing another people talk about it. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I feel like we hop on stuff, and that's not just New Orleans. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
they go around the world. But I feel like with so much culture and talent and so much stuff New Orleans birthed, we need to do a better job of not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because we started and innovated a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So people that's local and don't have enough hype and people talking about it, we need to get behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that's easier said than done, but I'm just saying, like, we not a regular city, bro. We not, you know what I'm saying? We not a regular city. A lot of people take our shit, go other places, and you know what I'm saying, make it seem like they started it. Right. But I feel like that's on us. Right. Because we not doing our part to show, like, man, no, this is us. Like, we behind this. You know what I'm saying? So,
and what I was doing, like, when I used to be on Say Cheese, I was doing that. And at first, some people was like, man, who the fuck is he? He talking about this and all that stuff like that. And I was fighting for that because I know these are the conversations people have in a barbershop and in the school gymnasiums. They talk about this stuff on a block. So I was going to be the one to be able to articulate myself well enough to argue those points, whatever and all. And I was going to put their ass on trial. Like, y'all coming to take New Orleans shit. I'm going to prosecute all you motherfuckers and let them, like they always say, Malcolm X going to prosecute America. I was putting them on trial to, like, let them know, like, nah, we about to, y'all ain't going to do that to us, whatever. I'm going to stand on that for us. But like I said, at first, I wasn't met with open arms like that neither because a lot of people didn't know I worked with BTY Young and the Super. They didn't know that because I was behind the scenes at the time. So I had to go. I had a couple of people doing it with me in the city that was interviewing me, but I had to go to Texas and all that. And, a lot of them helped me out or whatever, which I understand. Like I said, the hard work, they couldn't deny that, though. Right. They couldn't deny the consistency and the adjustments. That's why I always say you got to be consistent and just keep making adjustments because you're going to figure it out and you're going to take this and turn that and figure it out and you're going to get that a Rubik's Cube where it need to be at till you unlock it and get all sides on the right color. So I feel like when New Orleans see that you doing something dope and you figure it out, just like, like I said, I like what, he doing whatever with this, whatever, and all the avenues. I like what Line James doing or whatever. I knew his brother. We went to Livingston together and he went to Abe, rest in peace, Maul. And is about that. So I think New Orleans got behind them. I feel like they get behind the comedians. I feel like when it's good, they gonna get behind it. It just take consistency, and they got to see you the real deal.
Right.
Cash Money didn't just get New Orleans to just fall in love with them. It was good.
Right.
Big Boy Records was good. Mystical and them was good. It was a lot of them, that we liked it, that the world loved, but they was really good. So I feel like if you really good and you could weather the storm, because it ain't easy,
right?
Because New Orleans is a tough city, they gonna get behind like Tyler Perry. Some people gotta leave.
Right.
But his talent and his stories and him being so good, it was undeniable. So when something undeniably good, you ain't gonna help but see it. You can't act like you won't see it forever.
Right.
You gotta recognize it in the end.
And that's a good point on how you see like a lot of people have left New Orleans to get to a certain point, and I that's kind of what the base of my question was is like, when can we get to the point where no, like they didn't leave, they started here and ended up nationally or global, or, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of, I feel like we in this era where some people out here are getting New Orleans love and they kind of be stuck there. You know what I'm saying? Or other people be from New Orleans, leave other places, and you know what I'm saying? And they get more exposure, but they had to leave. So then it kind of takes away from you being from New Orleans because you didn't stay here. Which again, that's not just New Orleans. A lot of people leave, you know what I'm saying? But again, famous, but like I say, I don't hold our city to a higher standard, bro. Like we got to be held to a higher standard because we innovate a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? So
what I would say to that is that I think that a lot of cities, people do leave a lot of time, whatever. Now. And I mean, I think if Master P had to happen the way it had to happen, Tyler Perry had to go to Atlanta, I guess he just couldn't do it. I ain't made in Atlanta. So sometimes it's going to be like that. It's just whatever God got for you. But I know what you're saying. Like BG said, there's nothing like being self-made in your hometown. Just like Wiz Khalifa, when he got Pittsburgh behind him, he knew he could take the world.
Right.
He got Pittsburgh, he got the Midwest, the rest was history. BG and them got New Orleans, then they got the South, and then they took the world. So of course you like to be self-made in your hometown, and that's why I like how I've been able to make a name for myself, just not in the music, even, advocate for my brother, tend to the same thing that C Murder going through, and my brother and, 50, 100 other brothers and sisters. It might be a little down because some of the people that passed away, and some of them been, met with a remedy from Jason Williams' office in Orleans Parish, but, fighting for that kind of stuff when I can. So that's why people love me here. And I've been building it up. So, of course, when you can build it up and your city can see you right here, being homegrown, of course, like Popeyes.
Right.
Al Copeland started Popeyes here, and it went around the world. Same thing with Sam Walton. He started in Bentonville, Arkansas with Small Town America buying stuff from Walmart, and then Walmart went global. So I think that, of course, we always love to start where our roots at, but sometimes it don't be like that. But, of course, we would all love for that hometown love. There's nothing like being a hometown hero. Like LeBron was able to give Cleveland a championship. They never had that. And nothing really, pretty much. He was able to do that or whatever. And he was able to go other places. And Jordan couldn't do that without, whatchamacallit, but LeBron did that. But that's why I think Ohio love him so much.
Right. And I feel like that's big, you know what I'm saying? Because by him doing that, Ohio gets his recognition that it do or don't deserve. You know what I'm saying? Because of what y'all birthed or who's claiming that, you know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like I know we have the talent, we have the disruption, like we have all of that. We just not getting it on the platform we should be getting it on. You know
but I think,
like
you said, like your platform and other platforms, the more we keep being consistent and building up, and the YouTube subscribers keep going up. Like I said, if y'all watching, make sure y'all subscribe too. It's gonna keep, and tell a friend too.
Please,
everybody keep supporting one another, and then certain guests might come on certain people's shows, or other big entertainers might come on local shows to turn them up. And I think long as we keep helping one another and pulling each other up or whatever, I think it's going to benefit us, from clothing brands to the football players shouting out the brands, the YouTube podcasts that they watching, to put people on the artists that they need to be hip to listen to when they make it to the NFL, and they make it in business. They could be a doctor and say, well, look, this is my favorite podcast, this is my favorite music artist. And it could be a gospel singer, it could be a R&B singer, don't have to be hip hop. Just turn somebody up from where you from, and I feel like as long as we dropping names when we can, helping somebody, we doing our part.
Everybody do their part, and you definitely doing your part, bro. Shout out to you, like I see, man. You intentional with what you gonna do, bro, and you getting that shit done. And you're AR for Cash Money, right? Yeah, baby said I'm doing the A&R stuff. That's what he want me to do, and so I've been looking for stuff, and that's why I bought. When we went to Miami that time, I bought YD down there, the illest. Or G Merck down there.
G Jerk came with me out the St. Bernard. OBG Bang came with me out the East show. So I brought them with me so he could get some of the talent and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. So he'll still ask me, you know, what I'm looking at or what I think I like and stuff like that. So yeah, I still been trying to keep my ear to stuff and just pushing it where he like it, don't know. But I just try to let him know what caught my attention. It might, you know, like.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. The blessings you got coming, probably bigger than you ever could imagine, bro. Cause you got surface levels you ain't touched yet, dog.
Right.
I know it, bro. I know it, bro. Like you gonna, especially in that music, see you passionate about it. You like you say disruption, then you gonna make a problem.
Yeah, bro. I study people like I said, like Master P, Baby and Slim, Damon Dash. Did it before all the wild stuff or whatever. Jermaine Dupri, Suge Knight, Easy E, like Barry Gordy, you know, Ahmed Erdogan, like, you know, people that really was doing it. Clyde Davis, like I studied these people and all that stuff. I read these books and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really passionate about it. I love what I do with them. Yeah,
right.
It's a real deal.
But yeah, man, like I said, I feel like passionate about it. That's a difference maker because you know it's business at the end of the day, and I understand that.
Right.
To come down to some type of love, gotta be into this, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like now it's like, you know, people not really looking for talent, they looking what's profitable or what's algorithm like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's hurting a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, that's why I say I feel like the industry needs you, bro, because I don't feel like that's what's in your heart. Like, you ain't about to just do what's algorithm like or what's popular, like, it gotta resonate, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what's lacking in the music scene right now, you know what I'm saying?
I like that music, bro, that give you goosebumps, like Whitney Houston, Lauryn Hill, DMX, Pac, like I like that shit, like, you know, that's gonna give you chills when you hear it and all that. So that's what I like. I like stuff that's gonna touch your soul. So that's why I like Soulja Slim and all that. So yeah, I like just like that and all that. You don't have to be gangster like I said, Lauryn Hill, Whitney Houston. I love R&B. But I gotta like when you hear him singing, like when you hear Whitney Houston, you give good love, and she hit them note, baby, like it just do something to you and all that. So yeah, I like that music. Yeah, so,
disruption, like you see.
Disruptive.
Man, so tell the people where they can follow you at, because if y'all don't know, Geedy got his own blog, got a lot of stuff going on, but like you said, you can see what type of person he is, what he do, where his heart at. So y'all need to go tap in with him. But tell the people where they can follow you at.
And y'all can follow me on my Instagram. This is my 4-1. You know, it was deleting my pages. It was always getting deleted. I'm on my 4-1, so thank God. I got up to 33,000 followers now, climbing and all that. So you can follow me on Instagram at Geedy P Speaks, all together, GEEDY, P as in Paul, SPEAKS, Geedy P Speaks, all together. And on Twitter, you can follow me at Geedy_P. The P is for passion, perseverance. Yeah, I'm gonna just say that.
That resonate. That resonate. You got anything else coming up? Something new coming up? People.
Like I said, I'm just me and David still got stuff we doing behind the scenes and all that. And like I said, J Merck. Hopefully, you know, in August, whatever this case get totally dismissed, because I think 3 or 4 case charges got dropped last time with the court or whatever. But hopefully, they dismiss the whole thing and we better get back to everything we're doing and all that. So, like I said, working on music with J Merck. Like I said, BTY Young and documentary coming soon with Gabriella working on that. There's gonna be a lot of people on there like Sean Cotton, BG should be on there. Who else gonna be on there? Baby, to name a few. There's a lot of people. Tech from Baton Rouge gonna be. There's gonna be a dope documentary. So she working on that. So for the younger fans, be on the lookout for BTY Young and documentary. She might drop around his birthday, December 12th. Which him and Superbad got the same birthday. But yeah, that's all I got coming or whatever. I'm just gonna keep working and just keep staying consistent. That's what I'm gonna do. But thank you for having me.
No problem,
I appreciate it and stuff like that. And getting me on the West Bank and all that. And railroad feel like MC Dick. Cruising down the street real slow. And them fellas be yelling, railroad.
Thanks, bro, man. Thanks. Man, so I appreciate y'all for tuning in too. This was session 11 of the Hood Buddha Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. I'm your host, BP. And until next time, peace out, man. It's all love.
One love.
Get money, get money, get money.